All right, welcome back to This May Pinch a Little Bit. And this go round, I just want to talk about body after baby, which is a bit of a tough topic just for me because in all of my 27, almost 28 years, um, it's taken a while for me to be comfortable with my body, with myself in my own skin. And that's after two kids and quite a few changes to the way my body looks. And even myself, how I look without clothes, how I feel, just accepting who I am and the way that I look. And just to give you a bit of background on me, growing up, started out stick skinny, like pencil tiny, little tiny stick legs, just super skinny. But I was born with asthma, and I've come to terms that I'll probably end my days with asthma. I'm on a regulatory inhaler, so that's just a part of my life. But it took years for me to get it under control. So around third or fourth grade, it pretty much got so bad that I was in and out of the hospital, just constantly sick. And my asthma specialist at the time put me on steroids, a regular steroid basically, and not the type of steroids that people think of when you're or for a bodybuilder or athlete that you would inject, but a actual pill. And steroids actually help to open the airways. It helps with your lung capacity. So, in order to help my breathing get on track, he put me on a steroid along with the regulatory inhaled steroid, which would be like an Advil or something, and a rescue inhaler. So, pretty much all the steroids. I was inflated like a balloon. I mean, I blew up like the Michelin Man. I was huge, like around fourth grade. I mean, I was giant. And that's pretty much where all the self esteem issues started. I mean, I was so big, like my eyes, around my eyes were black pretty much. Like I just had permanent black eyes. I had that black ring around my nose. Like a lot of the time you get, a lot of pregnant women get towards the end of pregnancy. Um, I dealt with bullying, just low self esteem, and not just bullying at school, bullying at home because, we had just moved into a new family situation. So my mom had gotten married and we were trying to integrate a blended family. So it was hard trying to get along with new siblings. So it was a lot. So from fourth to sixth grade, that was huge. Um, so eventually the weight came off around seventh grade, but not to where I was fully comfortable in my skin. I've still felt like I was bigger than all the other girls. I've always had a bigger stomach than most girls my age, or at least that's what it felt like to me. I wasn't born with any hips. I mean, I didn't develop any either. And as an adult, I still don't have any. I'm still stick straight when it comes to the hip department. Didn't grow up with a lot of butt. And in stereotypical fashion, people think all Black women are supposed to have a big butt and you're supposed to have a whole lot of hips and you're supposed to eat cornbread and it's just supposed to magically grow like some kind of miracle grow for plants. But that's just not what I was given. That's not how God made me, and that's just not what I have. So even after I dropped the weight, sure, I had boyfriends, but I was constantly talked about for not having a big butt or not having a lot of hips. So I always struggled with trying to lose weight, even after I got all that weight off from all the medication. And I can remember in the ninth grade, um, I remember using my designated gym class as a workout. So I came up with this plan, and I was like, man, I hate the way my pants fit. I hate that I'm not as small as my sisters. And I had a boyfriend at the time. He didn't have a problem with the way I looked, but I did. I felt as though I wasn't as small as the other girls. I couldn't wear little midriff tops. I didn't have enough butt. So I felt if I could be skinnier, then I could wear those things and I would feel better. Even if I couldn't grow a butt, maybe if I was smaller, I wouldn't feel as bad. I wouldn't look as bad. I could wear some of the things that they would wear, and I would feel better about myself. So I used my gym class as my everyday workout 5 days a week. So instead of just moseying around and not actually participating, I would run when it was time to run. I would participate in all of the daily activities, like if we had to play basketball or if we went outside for softball or whatever. And I would change my diet. So when I got home, I wouldn't eat after 7. I would, try to work out on the weekends, and it actually worked. I dropped the weight, and pretty sure it had to do with that high schooler metabolism. And at this time, I was like a size 8, which I wish I could fit a size 8 right now. But at that time, I was a size 8. So, if only I could be like a size 6 or a size 4, like my older sister. So, I thought I was too big. So it worked. And I got smaller. And my boyfriend at the time, and granted, I was in ninth grade, but still had a boyfriend, high school things. My boyfriend at the time was like, you're getting too small. You should quit. And I was like, oh, okay. So maybe I am too small. And that was the smallest I had ever been in my entire life. I was 133 pounds. And I always remember that number because I've never seen that on the scale. That's the last time I've ever seen that number. And for me, even when I weigh that much, it still didn't change how I felt about myself. I still wasn't happy. I still didn't feel pretty. So, life went on. And then my weight fluctuated. I got to college. And by the time I graduated high school, got to college, I was about 160. And then more insecurities flooded in. And by the time I graduated, I was 188 pounds. And that number is significant because 2 months later, I found out I was pregnant with my son. And once I had him, I think my weight was about 200 after I had him. And that's the biggest I had ever gotten. And I was like, whew, if I never get over 200 pounds, oh God, please never let me get over 200. I'm okay with myself. But I wasn't. My body looked completely different after him. It wasn't like a usual regular fat that I was used to seeing. I still hadn't grown any butt. That's never going to change. And I've come to accept that fact. And to be honest, I always talk a good game. Like I would probably go under the knife for like a Brazilian butt lift or something, but I don't think I could do it. Power to all the women that do, though, because if that's what's going to make you feel better, I've learned not to judge women anymore because of all the stuff we go through as women and all the things that our bodies can do, all the things that we put our bodies through to bring life into this world, all the things that we go through on the regular, menstruation, just in general, weight loss, weight gain, stretch marks, we deal with all kind of issues. So I don't judge women anymore for the decisions that we make, especially any surgeries or anything you want to do to alter your body. If that's what's going to make you feel better, then do what you have to do. I just I say that I want to do something like that, but I can't. I'm too nervous. Once I had my son, which I had him via C-section, it was a hard recovery process for me and painful. So to go through that process again, and I won't say willingly, because to have a baby, by God's grace, was willingly. He allowed me to, get pregnant, have a baby. I had the C-section, but to, pay someone to go through that surgery, I don't think I'm up for that long road to recovery. So if I can't get it in the gym, which we'll put a pin in how lazy I am about the gym, I just don't think I'm up for that. But anyway, yeah, my body looked a hell of a lot different after my first child. The fat that used to just sit up on my stomach, and I know this is hard to visualize, and I'm not really sure how well I can explain it over, just talking about it, but the fat just looked different, man. It was a different hang after a baby. It's a different kind of baby fat hang after you have a child. Because once was what was once holding a child in, it was shaped. Now it's just deflated. And boy, did it leave my self-esteem feeling deflated, because I used to be able to kind of just squeeze into that size 10 and maybe cover it up with a decent shirt. And I felt okay. But after my son, that didn't feel good. I think I was pushing like a size 12. And everyone who, if I told them my size, or if we got on that conversation, they would be like, no way, you're no size 12. I'm like, yes, I am. And it's not because I have anything on the backside. It's because of the baby gut that I carry on the front. And the crazy part is, everybody would say, well, you can lose the weight, or you can go on this diet plan, that diet plan. And I had tried so many different things, but nothing stuck. I tried one that worked for a while, and I think I got down to like 193 pounds. That's the most weight I had ever gotten off from. I think I had gotten higher than 200, maybe to like 205. And I was proud of myself, but then I fell off the wagon, and I got lazy again. And I'm going to be honest, I'm just not a gym junkie. I'm not a gym rat. I'm not a weight loss guru. I like brownies. I like cookies. I like sodas. I like sweet tea. I like all the crap you're not supposed to eat. Okay? I can admit that. And it's really hard to pull back from that. And everybody's going to be like, oh, you're just making excuses. And yeah, I probably am. I can admit that, because I have two best friends that, one kicks it into high gear, and she can do a diet like that. I mean, it's easy. It seems like it's so much easier for her. I know she has her stumbling blocks and, things that don't work out for her. But it's like, if it doesn't work, she just jumps right back on it and she tries again, and the weight comes off. I mean, she looks amazing. And then I have another best friend who, she does what works for her, and she gets the weight off. She's had a child too. And we have this discussion all the time that body after baby just does not look the same. That fat looks so different after you've had a kid. And so you have to come to terms with how you look after that. And that's a hard, excuse my language, but that's a hard ass conversation with yourself, because If you have a significant other who loves you for how you look or how you've changed and what you look like, that's great. I mean, it's nice that they're there to tell you, you look amazing. I appreciate you. I love your body the way it is. I mean, and this is all while you're just straight butterball naked out the womb, birthday suit. That's nice. Scars and all, stretch marks, you know, boobs that don't look as perky as they used to because you've had some milk come out of those things. I mean, like just straight up raw, real, as honest as it gets. But if you're not accepting that, or you've put up your compliment blockers, how you put on your shades and you got your hater blockers on, well, if you put those shades on and they straight blocking out the compliments, you ain't accepting that either. Because that's something in your mental that you have to reevaluate. And that's something I've done for years. My husband can compliment me all day, but if I can't accept the compliment, it doesn't matter. If I can't start talking to myself about how I feel and telling myself it's okay if you're no longer that size 8. It's okay if you never get back to that size 8. Then, you have to do that for yourself because, some people don't have that extra person in their corner, but you want to make sure that you're having that conversation with yourself because, even when the compliments are rolling in, if you don't allow them to come in or you don't talk to yourself and compliment yourself first, it's never going to matter what anyone else says because it matters how you feel. So, I've had my first child and then I recently had my second child last year in May of 2018. So she'll be almost 1 this year, in about a month. And I didn't start feeling okay with my body until about a month and a half ago, actually. Right now, I'm about 205 pounds, so pretty much back to where I started right before, right before I started having kids, pretty much. And no, my body does not look the same. I feel like it looks even crazier than when I had my first child because it is a completely different type of baby fat. It hangs even lower. And I'm sorry if this is too much information for your ears, but that's why it's called This May Pinch a Little Bit, because sometimes the truth pinches a little bit, but it also heals. So, it looks different. But I take the time to look at myself and I compliment myself. I tell myself there's nothing wrong with the body that you have. I let myself know that you have survived 2 babies because childbirth is a 50-50 chance. Sometimes women do not make it. So I am a survivor. And this is the body that you're left with. You have given life. You have birthed children twice and you've made it. And you have a husband that loves you. You have a husband that loves you the way that you look. There's nothing wrong with that. Your body is okay. It's okay if you never get back to that size 10. As long as you're healthy. So instead of trying to degrade myself all the time, that I'll never look like this person or that person. And I mean, to be honest, I used to compare myself to my best friends. I think they're beautiful, gorgeous women. They both have their own things. They have their own personalities and their own style, and their own shape about themselves. And, you know, they both have they both have qualms about themselves, things that they both wish they want to change. As all women do. But I think they're gorgeous. And when I'm with them, I mean, and this is a true statement, I always feel like the ugly duckling of the group. But I've learned to stop making that comparison because I was doing nothing but hurting myself. And it was unfair to me and unfair to them because then they have to try to come back and, try to make me feel good. But it wasn't working because I wasn't accepting it. And then it was like a vicious circle and it was just pointless. So I stopped doing that altogether. So anyway, yeah, I stopped making that comparison. I just take the time to let myself know that it's okay as long as I try. So, within the past 2 months, I've pulled back from a soda every day to a soda once in a while, which is fine. I drink more water and I don't eat as much meat, but that's just a personal choice for me because I like the feeling that I get from less meat. I get less migraines because I deal with that a lot. And my stomach is a lot less bloated than it used to be. So I feel better when I go to put my jeans on, which are now a size 14, and that is okay. Um, when I go to the store to try on clothes, which I used to hate because I was an awkward size, like between a size 14 and a 16. But the 16 was too big in the crotch and had like that gross extra baggy pants in the front. But the 14 was like way too tight on the waist. And then I would be like struggling to button it. Now I'm like a true size 14. But anyway, so when I go to the store, if I find a pair of pants that are a size 12 and they fit, great. If they don't, that's fine. I just put it back. If it's a size 14 and it fits, great. That's fine. If they don't, then I put it back. That is fine. If I find a shirt that I like and it fits, great. If it doesn't, I put it back. That's fine. So on and so forth. I've come to terms with that. And, I'm starting to venture out more. I'm probably not going to go outside and just have on a straight crop top with my muffin top out and my mama war wound stretch marks out. But a little tiny midriff, like a sliver, is not going to kill anybody. If it's going to make me feel comfortable, then that's what I'm going to wear. I'm learning to be comfortable in my own skin because this is the one and only body that God gave me, and this is what I have. So if I drop a bunch of weight, great. If it comes off slowly, that is fine. But as long as the outcome is me being healthier, I'm okay with that. But I've learned to take me for who I am. I stopped trying to compare myself and wish I looked like this person and wish I looked like that person and wish I had a different shape because that's just not the way I was made. And that's okay. And it's not an easy feat because sometimes I do find myself going right back to the original space that I was in and saying, oh, well, look at your stomach today. You're more bloated than you were yesterday. And you shouldn't have ate that. And, oh, you don't have any backside. And, oh, you wish you had hips. You're shaped like a cereal box. And I mean, like, the list just goes on. And sometimes I do make jokes about being shaped like a cereal box, but just for jokes. But no, seriously, I do pull back from that. And it's really not that it wasn't easy to pull away from constantly tearing myself down. I'm going to be honest. Some of this came from me going to see a therapist, and it wasn't the self-esteem part because I unpacked a whole bunch of other crap in therapy that got me to this space. But there is a book, that my therapist recommended, and it's called The Four Agreements. It's really short. It's actually free on Google. If you look it up, it's by Ruiz. Can't remember the last name. Sorry. But the Four Agreements. And I think it's like 33 pages. The PDF is free on Google. But I think it's a really good read if you have the time. And I'm not going to lie, the first couple pages, you're going to be like, is this the right book? But it is. And the very first one is titled, the very first agreement is titled, Be Impeccable with Your Word. And he just explains that impeccable pretty much means to not sin. And it's just being impeccable with your word just means to not sin against yourself. Don't talk down against yourself. Say what you mean what you say, just about who you are. So don't berate yourself. Don't belittle yourself. Uplift yourself, even if it takes just a couple minutes in the mirror every day to say something encouraging about who you are or what you want to do in life. Just take that time out, because eventually that's going to become your mantra. And I know some of this sounds corny, but things like this do work. Even if you have to just write out a couple of encouraging things that you want to repeat every day, and just put them up on the wall. So when you get up in the morning, it's the first thing you see. And that's something that you repeat to yourself. Or it's the last thing you see at night, and that's something you say to yourself before you go to bed. It will make all the difference in how you begin to feel about yourself, how you see yourself, and how you begin to view the world. So if you get a chance, I say read it. It's a short read. It was really only like 33 pages. It might be less than that because it was PDF format on my phone. So it's probably less than 33 pages, but I really think it's a good one. And then if you have another chance to get another book, I think another one, a good read, is called Girl, Stop Apologizing. And forgive me for not having the author's name. I want to say it's Julia or Juliet. You know what? I'm probably wrong. But if you just type in Girl, Stop Apologizing on Google, it will pop up, and her name could be Rebecca. I'm wrong. I'm probably just all the way wrong. Anyway, type in Girl, Stop Apologizing. It's really, really, really good read. I listened to it on Audible when I worked at my old desk job. It was amazing, and it really did start to spark a change for me. So I think that's another good one that you may want to read and pick up. And if you get the Audible, it's read in the author's voice. So I think that's a good one. But anyway, if you would like to reach out to me, you can reach me at thislittlepinch@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram at thismaypinch_a_little_bit. Again, still trying to decide if I want to go the YouTube route and be on camera, because I'm not really sure podcasting isn't my thing, video podcasting, but we'll see. I might, I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm thinking about it. So anyway, if this episode was something you enjoyed, please click that like button, thumbs up, love, whatever the button is on whatever streaming format you're listening to this on. I would appreciate it. Or write me, give me some ideas, whatever you want to hear the next topic be about. I would appreciate all the feedback. And thanks for listening. Have a good one.